All right. What's up, guys? Sorry for the internet shenanigans. Yeah, apparently we are uploading at 1250 bit rate right now because my internet is garbage. Thanks, Charter. You're awesome. So, welcome to the Cosmic Bulletin. My name is Nymphadora. I am a community manager here at GirlStreamers and one of the co-hosts for the Cosmic Bulletin. With me tonight, as always, is the lovely Miss DJM. And yeah, we've got some interesting things to chat about tonight.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff. I mean, first things first is like the huge Twitch announcement, which is communities are going away. And they're replacing them with tags. And the IRL and creative channel, I don't want to say categories, thank you, are being separated up. And I have opinions on this, but I want to know what your opinions are. So, what you got, Miss DJ?
I don't know, I have mixed feelings about the whole community thing because as great as it is for finding specific communities, it's almost gotten to the point where it's as overly congested as trying to find a stream or be found as a stream under like somebody looking for games. I kind of understand their statistics. I guess that 3% of people were being found through the community tags, which I know some of you actually had a positive feedback that that's how somebody found you.
Yeah.
I personally, for my streams, never. Like, I don't think I've ever found it, like, had somebody like, oh yeah, I was looking through this community tag and this is how I found you. When I'm looking for somebody, I feel it's like almost just as cluttered, unless it's a really nice niche community. Then yeah, that made sense. But not really. I'm kind of interested in what they're going to be doing with these tags. When they say tags, I always think of like the little descriptions that you add on your YouTube video, of just a couple things of like, oh, here's my name, here's GirlStreamers, comma this, and I think of those type of tags, and I still don't know if that's even like thinking forward, if that's actually going to help anymore. I know that's going to be able to add more descriptions, but doesn't that add just more clutter?
That's actually what I thought about with the hashtag deal thing. That's exactly what I thought about. So the communities, I mean, I have no like great feeling one way or the other because I don't know what the statistics are. I mean, if you say it's only 3% that people find you that way, all right, that's cool. I guess I believe you. I don't see the statistics. I have had a lot of people find me through specific categories, or not categories, but communities. The bigger the community, though, the harder it is to be found. Like when you use the variety streamers tag, that, there's everybody's a variety streamer on Twitch. So you're not really gonna be found on that community, but communities like GirlStreamers, you have a little bit smaller group of people to find, to go through for those kind of communities. So I think communities works on that level, but on the big level, it doesn't work. And I feel like the hashtags are going to be the same way with that whole situation. I do think breaking up the IRL and the creative categories is a very good move on their part.
Huge.
I am glad that they are doing that because creative and IRL was a catch-all. And like, I have a stream where I'm reading a book. Like, I read a book on stream every Monday. And I use IRL, but it's not really IRL. It's not really... It's sort of creative. It falls under creative, but it's not technically creative because I'm not
You're not writing a book?
creating. Right, I'm not creating anything specific. I guess voice acting, but with the details in the breakdowns of like creative and IRL, there are categories that I could fall under reading a book on stream. And I will say I think they should have a specific cosplay category on its own. I don't think cosplay should fall under hobbies because cosplay is its own thing. Like, it is massive.
It's hobbies and crafts. I mean, okay, so the new category is art. There's art, which is kind of, I think, you get the general description of that.
Yeah,
Hobbies
you
and
get
crafts,
a good,
which
you
is
get
crafting
a lot.
real world objects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do get a lot of parts. Real world objects, working on DIY projects, including making costumes, sewing, sculptures, Legos, woodworks, metalwork, and more. You should have also added Gundams. I'm just saying. Food and drink for all your mukbang streamers, which I've done that like once, and it's actually kind of interesting and fun. Music and performing arts, beauty and body art, science and technology. I love that category. Nobody knows me. I am a huge pusher for women in technology and just science overall for pushing kids. I don't care if it's boy or girl. It's like a bare just necessity. I think every child should have. Just chatting, travel and outdoors, sports and fitness, tabletop RPGs, special events such as going to cons like TwitchCon, E3, and PAX, talk shows and podcasts, which is us, and then ASMR. I don't know how I feel about that last one. That's the only thing.
That one is
love and hate for ASMR.
I feel like that could actually fall under art, to be honest, or performing arts. I really do. I don't necessarily think ASMR needed its own channel. I feel like cosplay, there's more cosplay than ASMR, but I love it. And there's the nice thing about a lot of those categories is several things could go, like reading a book could be performing arts, or it could be chatty, or it could be, so you have a choice of different categories depending on the audience you want to draw versus a catch-all. And I think that was just a very smart move and a very helpful move for a lot of people, especially artists on Twitch, because I find myself watching more artists on Twitch than I do gamers sometimes. It's huge.
Kinky also says ASMR is maybe performance, but it's a very in-demand area at the moment. This is true. It's crazy how much ASMR blew up on Twitch, which kind of actually makes sense. I know it was a huge, huge thing, and still is a huge thing on YouTube. I always felt that people turn on or tune in or watch ASMR videos as a means to relaxing. That's obviously one of the things, but I always thought that it was better as a pre-recorded, uploaded video than something that is live. But obviously I was wrong. I don't know everything here, and it just blew up. It's crazy. I have a friend who does it, and I watched her do her ASMR stuff, and she's actually almost completely stopped gaming, period, and just does ASMR.
I mean, I listen to some ASMR YouTube channels, but I use it to go to sleep. I use it to fall asleep. So watching it on Twitch, like, I'm okay. I don't need to watch it live. I'm good with the pre-recorded stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is a very in-demand category, so that explains why they made a separate one. I'm interested to see the community changes. Like I said, I don't necessarily have a specific opinion here or there about it. It's like, okay, I guess. All right, we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll just that's all I got for that. We'll see what happens.
You can go ahead and mention the next topic. I gotta run off in really, really quick. 2 seconds. You can start it. I know what it's.
She must have to go pee. I'm gonna say she has to go pee. So the next thing is a really, really cool article that I saw earlier. This guy from Canada, this 24-year-old guy from Canada, is hitchhiking across America, and he is actually live streaming while he's hitchhiking. So you can catch his trip when he gets picked up, when he's eating, when he's just hanging out on the side of the road. It's I'm gonna have to watch this because I am really intrigued how his life is going, hitchhiking across America. It's kind of cool. I bet he's seeing a lot of interesting people.
So, okay. You know what instantly caught me, and this is like completely not even about this guy, and I feel bad about it. So this article, the title, it says the whole thing on Amazon's Twitch. I don't know why that makes me feel so weird. Like, I know that Amazon owns Twitch, that they took over, and that's who's running it. But I think that's the first time I read an article where somebody
referred to it
Amazon's
that way.
Twitch. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But
well, I think it's because it's Business Insider, and so they have to put the business stuff there, I guess. I don't know.
Well, on top of that, I mean, how many people really still know about Twitch? They'll know about Amazon. They're like, oh, okay, it's an Amazon company. They'll know about everybody.
That is true. That is true. It is Business Insider, and not everybody who reads Business Insider knows what Twitch is. That's a valid point. Yeah.
But so what I want to know is, does he? Okay, going back, revisiting a previous episode about the streamer Uber Lyft driver, right? And he wasn't asking for consent if he can stream or not. And who people does he have that? Does he have that disclosure? Does he have them sign off? Hey, I'm live streaming. Do I have your okay? Because he's going through all 50 states, and guess what? Only one of them is Missouri. Consent. So is that what he's doing? I'm kind of curious. This is still really, really cool, but I don't want it to be like something that comes back and bites him in the ass because, oh, well, this streamer over here didn't ask consent for these people that are picking him up, that they're going to be live streamed, or that they took him out to eat lunch and they didn't know that it's going to turn into this eating show. Like, I'm sure to some degree they're like, why is this hitchhiker have his camera and his phone out doing all these other things? But I mean, the taxi cab driver said, like, hey, I'm streaming this. He didn't ask for their consent necessarily. Can't really exactly hide in his camera.
He didn't tell everybody that he was streaming. The only time the cab driver actually said anything was when they asked him about it. But this guy, every time he gets in, he's like, from what the article alludes to, he does ask if they are cool with the camera, and most of them are fine with the presence of the camera. And I'm okay as long as he's getting the permission, and because all you have to do is just get him recording saying yeah, I'm cool, you're fine, you're good, I'll be on camera. That's enough. That's all you need. It's just somebody saying yeah, it's cool. So, but I thought of that as well. It's like, well, I hope he's getting permission, and it seems like he's getting permission.
It seems like it. I just want to make sure, like, it's almost like kind of the same thing as the cab driver, the Uber Lyft driver. But what I also like, and it goes even deeper, more than just live streaming. It's kind of refreshing to see somebody who's in their 20s. I know we're not that old, but our 20s feels like it was 20 years ago. That face of yours.
I just went through 20 years of bills. Yeah, I feel like it was forever ago.
But at the same time, it's just super refreshing to see somebody taking advantage of their youth, of their time, exploring the world, bringing people along for this adventure with him, and to see so many people who is supporting his endeavors.
Can I take a moment and say
What's up?
thank you to Ninja Guy because he's gifted like 6 subs right now in Girl Streamers. And I know that we're a talk show and we don't have our alerts on when we do the Cosmic Bulletin, but thank you very much. We appreciate the love. Sorry, continue.
But that he's taking advantage of this time in his life when his only responsibility is himself. I don't
Yeah.
think he has any kids. I kind of hope you don't have any kids if you're traveling across the country, really. And just exploring what life has to offer him. I think even though I can picture that some people who didn't have that opportunity because they had life, they had responsibility, they had kids in their 20s, didn't get to explore the world in that sense and to see what's out there for them. That I feel like maybe some could be living vicariously through him. Be like,
Yeah.
wow, that's really cool, and I can support your dreams this way because I didn't have that opportunity to. So, kudos to him.
I like that he is because one of the things that he talks about in the article is that every person that picks him up is the nicest person in the world, because they stop to pick up a hitchhiker. Like, we're told not to pick up hitchhikers when we start driving. So I love that. Do you really? My dad picks up My dad picks up hitchhikers because he's got a truck, and he'll just be like, "Yeah, hop in the back of the truck." I do not.
I might put into consideration, and I look at them, and I'll take blame on this one. If I'm driving a car, I will determine. I'm like, I wonder how bad that person smells. If you're gonna stink up my car, because I live in Hawaii, we have a lot of sweaty people, and it's hot and humid here.
For laughing.
If it's sitting in my car first, I have a super sensitive nose, and I would feel worse, and this is totally on me again, if I'm in there like, yeah, okay, jump into my car, and I'm like, because you have really strong BO. If I have a truck, yeah, everybody gets it right. Get in the back.
Oh my god.
I've hitchhiked. It's fun.
One of my big goals in life is to hike the Appalachian Trail, and in order to hike a good portion of it, you've gotta hitchhike along the path sometimes if you want to like go into the cities. So yeah, I want to be a bum someday, but it's really expensive to be a bum. Just so you know, it's expensive to do that kind of thing. But I loved this article. I thought it was awesome, so I wanted to highlight it. I think it's really cool that he's streaming it. I love that he's streaming it. But anyway, moving on to pop culture news. We're doing so good with the segues today. So, Oscars, yo. So, this is a really,
you could have
really...
segued that in like an indirect way. You'd be like, you know who else is a bum? Oscar.
So,
okay, go ahead.
There's a lot happening with the Oscars. And I posted the article in the channel, and it will be on YouTube after we upload it on YouTube. The big deal with what is changing with the Oscars is they're going to shorten it, meaning they're going to bring it down to 3 hours because they are not having as many viewers as they have had in the past because nobody's watching the Oscars anymore. I'll get to the reason. I'll explain why I think that's happening after I tell you what they're changing. So they're bringing. It's going to be 3 hours and with no breaks. So when we go to commercial breaks, they're going to continue doing the award ceremonies and record those and upload show highlights later in the show. A lot like how the Tonys do their stuff. And they're also bringing in a new category called the popular Oscar, which a lot of people are nicknaming it the popcorn Oscar, because a lot of people are upset that various films that people have heard of get snubbed, like Batman, uh, Dark Knight Rises, and several big budget films get snubbed a lot at the Oscars for the more art house, dramatic kind of movies you've never heard of until they're nominated for an Oscar, essentially, right? Like that's a dilemma every Oscar season. So, having said all the and they're also going to change the date and make it earlier in the award season than later in the award season. But that will happen in 2020, not 2019. So, the reason why I think that nobody's watching the Oscars is, one, people don't watch TV anymore. We want to live stream it, just like this kind of stuff. I bet you if they live streamed it and allowed you to watch it on the internet, you would sit there and watch it in the background. I would. I certainly would, but I don't have cable. I can't watch the Oscars. That's why I don't watch the Oscars. I just watch the highlights later. Two,
I don't think I've watched the Oscars since I was like a teenager, and my family turned it into like a barbecue.
I watch the Oscars because I'm in the film industry, so I want to see what's being nominated. But the problem with the Oscars is there's no real diversity. I mean, you had Jordan Peele winning an Oscar last year, and you did see a little bit more diversity, but that was after people had an uproar of how white the Oscars were the previous year. Which is another reason why I think people are tired of watching it. They're tired of watching rich white men get nominated and win everything. There's no diversity on the panel. They just added a ton of people to the Academy to screen and vote that are more diverse to bring in the diversity. And I keep saying diversity, but that, to me, that's the biggest problem, because you have the same type of movies being nominated over and over and over again. They're always major dramas. They're always, the art house, whatever, but you never have there are some superhero movies that are just really well done. The story is great, the costuming is great, the CGI is great, and yet you have nothing that is ever nominated from that category, or it's a rare nomination. Do I think that the popcorn category can be abused? Yeah, I do. Because I think that's where they're going to do the catch-all for the popular movies, and then they're not going to be nominated for Best Movie. So I'm on the fence about that. I like it on one level, but on another level, I don't like it. And I think the Oscars in general, it just needs to stop being televised. I really do. I hate to say that. Just record it and put the highlights up and make a highlight video of what happened at the Oscars. Because nobody watches it anymore. Nobody cares.
How long is the Oscars? Because you said that they shortened it. How long is it actually?
They usually start about 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and have gone until 1 a.m. in the morning. So it varies between 4 to 6 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
So no, they're shortening it to 3 hours. They're shortening it to 3 hours, Carice.
3 hours, I think, is just pushing it for some, but I think that's more tolerable to sit there and watch these. I mean, you have to be someone like you, or a really huge movie buff that loves these types of things. And I'm sure then some people, obviously, because there's so much, or the lack of diversity, get tired of seeing that.
Yeah, you get tired of seeing this, and I am that. I think Acid Queen made a statement, and she said, "In my opinion, the popcorn category is where they're going to stick all the movies made by people of color," and that's actually one of the big gripes about this new category. That is not the first time I've seen that. I have had many of my my colleagues. That's how I found out about these changes. One of my colleagues was talking about it, and she thinks this category is stupid. And she, her reasoning is because movies like Black Panther, which is a phenomenal movie, and to date, the best superhero comic book film. I'm sorry, but it is. Even with Infinity Wars, like, I think it's the best one. All around, just, anyway. They're gonna stick it in the popcorn category because it is one of the more popular movies, because it broke records. So they're gonna put it in the popcorn category, and then it's not gonna be up for Best Picture. And that's the biggest gripe with the popcorn category, with the popular award category. But again, I see, like, you know, you watch the Oscars, and, like, you've never heard, like, we just watched 3 Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen, I highly recommend. It's a really good film, and it'll screw with your mind. But it's really well done. But I would have never heard of it had it not been for the Oscars. So I have a love-hate relationship with the Oscars. So yeah, I'm curious, what are y'all's opinion on the changes for the Oscars? If you watch them, do you even give a crap? Let me know. I am very, very curious what you guys think about it.
I have no opinion on it. I don't watch. Like I said, the last time I watched Oscars, I think I was in my teens, and that was like 20 years ago. We're just gonna go with the whole 20 years ago theme.
Sounds like my day. I am moving. For the record, I'm moving, and today was spent going through old files and stuff, because we're going to my parents' house tomorrow to burn stuff. And so I was going through all these files, like shit from college 15 years ago, right? I'm like, this is all of my adulthood, and I'm just leaving it that. It was not a good day in the Nymphadora household. Anyway, moving on. No?
Sure you want to move on?
You don't want to talk about this next one?
Of course I do. Of course
this next
I do.
One's awesome.
Well, I think even though she had a very brief stint, she was my favorite inmate on Orange is the New Black. But now she no longer has to be a criminal, as she is fighting criminals. Ruby Rose has been cast as Batwoman for the CW. And I love it. I love it so much. It's kind of funny because I can picture her both being Catwoman and Batwoman.
I really think that she is a fantastic cast for Batwoman. The more, like, when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't know. She's hot. I've seen her in a couple things, but the more I've had to actually stew over it, and the more I've, like, just remembered her role on Orange is the New Black, which was actually the last season of Orange is the New Black I watched, was the one she was in. I think she's gonna be awesome, because she is Batwoman. Because Batwoman, who is my favorite in the Batman series, like, of heroes, she's a badass lesbian who got kicked out of West Point. And I can so see Ruby Rose pulling that off, because she is a freaking badass. So I'm excited. Plus, she's super hot. I'd totally do her. Just gonna put that out there.
Just for clarification, to not kind of confused Batwoman, Batgirl, and everything. She isn't playing Barbara Gordon, who we all know is Batgirl. She's actually playing Kate Kane. So her really brief synopsis about who they're choosing and the character that they're developing and the series. Kate Kane is armed with passion for social justice and a flair for speaking her mind. She soars onto the streets of Gotham as Batwoman and an out lesbian and highly trained street fighter primed to snuff out the failing city's criminal resurgence. But don't call her a hero yet. In a city desperate for a savior, Kate must overcome her own demons before embracing the call to be Gotham's symbol of hope. So I am super looking forward to watching this. Oh my god.
She also, Batwoman works outside of Batman's little group of heroes, actually. She does not work for Batman like everybody else. Which is another.
Don't confuse Batwoman and Batgirl.
Yeah, two completely different characters, and Batwoman is way better.
When does it premiere? Actually, there is no set date. So basically, what it is right now is that CW is huge on having these crossover things and making things happen, and that's how they've been introducing some of their newest characters is these crossovers. So coming this December, Arrow, Flash. I don't know if they're going to include Legends of Tomorrow into that whole thing, but Supergirl thing, that's when they're going to have this crossover introduction of Batwoman into their series. Now, if it does get picked up, it won't be until next year, 2019, 2020 right. season. So I cannot picture why it wouldn't be well received. I think it's going to be overwhelming positive. I know that's really too early to say anything like that, but I have a lot of trust in the CW and in whoever they're partnering with for their marketing for the DC portion, because their shows are great. And I love the whole crossovers. The storyline they choose and how these shows intermingle in the same universe together, I think it is done just so well.
I think that kind of saved the CW, honestly. The way they did the DC stuff and brought the DC universe into the CW, it was really smart. Like, we're behind on a lot of the shows. Like, I haven't seen Flash, I haven't seen Supergirl. I'll probably only watch Supergirl for Batwoman, just because I'm not a fan of Supergirl. Just don't like the Superman, Supergirl thing. But I loved Arrow, by the way. Like, we're still working through Arrow, but we watch everything on Netflix, so we're behind everybody on everything. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited for this. I think it's going to be awesome.
So, and speaking of CW, so I think it's more about you. So the Flash star Grant Gustin slams male body shaming. Double standard. What are your thoughts?
I get it. I understand. As a fat girl. But I don't see where he's getting that it's okay to body shame men. I never knew that it was okay to body shame men. But he says, like, in the article, he says that what pisses me off, that it's okay to body shame men. And I'm like, really? Because I actually thought it was the opposite. I always thought it was okay to body shame women, but not okay to body shame men. So I don't know where the double standard is that he's talking about, because it's always been a thing to body shame women, and it's not until recently that we're like, yeah, no, we're not taking this shit anymore. So I really don't know what this double standard is, but apart from the double standard he's talking about, it's not okay to body shame anybody. And I don't, and I agree that he has every right to be pissed off that they're body shaming him, because you shouldn't you shouldn't body shame somebody. Some people are meant to be thinner. Some people have a thinner build. Some people have a bigger build. Like, why does it matter?
I don't think he's really saying that it's okay to body shame.
No, he's not. I know he's not saying it. He said that there's this double standard, and I'm like, what double standard are you talking about? Because
Okay, so
history, because
go ahead.
past, you know, it's always, women are body shamed on the regular, and it's society is okay to body shame women. So what's your double standard? It's not a double standard, because what he's saying is that I don't think he knows what double standard means.
I think he's just saying why. I don't think he's for it. I think he's just further explaining into it, because where he mentions that, it basically says, as far as body shaming, that's what pisses me off. Not even just for my sake. I've had 20 plus years of kids and adults telling me or my parents I was too thin. There's a double standard where it's okay to talk shit about a dude's body. I do my best to stay in shape and add as much size as I can throughout these seasons. I'm naturally thin and my appetite is greatly affected by stress. And he goes on to explain that he ebbs and flows for me throughout the season, thus gaining weight is a challenge for me.
Um, like his comment, there's a double standard where it's okay to talk shit about a dude's body. I think Dunkbot actually he phrased it well. He kind of missed the mark on what he was trying to go for there. Because I don't understand like what the double standard is that he's talking about. Like I'm not sure what he's talking about with that. Now, I am with him on it's not okay to body shame, and I totally get that sentiment, but I'm confused as far as what he's talking about with the double standard.
I think it's just a misunderstanding and miscommunication on both ends of what he considers to be a double standard. I think for him it's like him saying it's okay to talk about men in this way in Spanish, but not women.
Oh, but
Because it
see,
is
it's
something that
always
he
been okay to talk about women that way in the past. It hasn't been until recently that women are like, no, this is not okay. That's why I'm confused as far as this double standard. Because society has always been okay with talking shit about women's bodies.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he's trying to promote or say in any sense. I think it's more
No,
of him just trying to say it's like, I get it. You're gonna pick out a men's body because I'm playing a superhero, and it's obvious. It's very obvious when you watch a series, and that he is, I think, naturally a very thin person. And my son's like that, and it's just trying to pack on pounds on him. It's really, really hard, and he gets a lot of criticism for it. But I think when it comes to men, it's like almost this thing of like they don't take it that same way. It's more of like an encouraging thing to them. It is really weird, but I don't think in any way is he saying that yeah, it's perfectly fine. If it's okay to shame men, it's okay to shame women too. No, I don't think that's what he's. That's not
no,
the
and
way
I
that I'm
don't.
taking
I
it from
don't
him.
think that's what he's saying either. I just think that he doesn't quite understand the fact that women have kind of dealt with this our entire lives, and it's always been looked at as okay to do it to women. And so I think he kind of missed that. Yeah, it was just his point was just poor miscommunication. But it is not okay to body shame at all, regardless of what size you are. And as far as being thin, my brother was thin growing up. Looking back, we made fun of him. We called him a bird. We told him he had a birdcage chest, because he was tiny. And looking back, like that was screwed up the
That's
way
a
we.
form of it's a form of body shaming.
It is. It's a form of body shaming, and now he's like over 200 pounds because he's he's muscle. Because military, like as you get older, you'll start packing on the pounds, kid. It's all right. It's all right. You'll be all right. If you want to pack on pounds, just wait a few years. But yeah, he's kind of hot. Speaking of hot guys, can we all just admire Idris Elba right now? Like, he's just a beautiful man. So I'm excited about this. So they are trying to push for Idris Elba as the next James Bond, which everybody has been asking for that for years. And Idris himself has said he thinks it should be a woman. But the producers are definitely talking with him and leaning towards him for the next Bond film after Daniel Craig's last Bond film. So I would be okay with Idris Elba as James Bond. I really would. I would not be offended if they did not go with the woman for James Bond.
I wouldn't be offended. I'd be well, okay. No, I wouldn't. I think James Bond is one of those characters, and any other woman can go and knock me on this one. I think it's just one of those characters where I don't mind if there's no gender bend if they don't change it. I mean, like, I know Doctor Who is finally having a woman doctor. That's great, because the doctor could be, can change into anyone, and why didn't he become a woman at some point? But James Bond? I wouldn't be hurt if James Bond was never a woman.
I would like to see a woman 007. I wouldn't have a problem with the woman 007, but like I'm okay with not pushing for a woman 007. I just like some diversity in my 007. Just let it not be a white guy. Although I wouldn't be opposed to Benedict Cumberbatch also being 007 at some point in his life.
No, he can't be 007 because I need more Sherlock.
I mean, that too.
Go work on more Sherlock, and then I need like 3 more seasons.
Oh my goodness. It would be Jane Bond. I'd be down with the Jane Bond. I think it would be cool.
Oh God,
okay, so we're gonna have to ban Acid Queen from GirlStreamers permanently because of her statement on Cumberbatch right there. I'm just kidding. I love you, Acid Queen. He's so problematic. God.
But you know who's very interesting that I don't know deserves her own movie?
Swiper, no swiping!
The Explorer will have a live action movie. I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't. I have no idea how to feel about it. So it is happening, and it's not going to be a child like Dora. This is a little bit more grown up Dora. So basically, let me read it to you. Having spent most of her life exploring the jungle with her parents, nothing could prepare Dora for the most dangerous adventure ever: high school. Always the explorer, Dora quickly finds herself leading Boots, her best friend, a monkey, Diego, and a ragtag group of teens on a live-action adventure to save her parents and solve the impossible mystery behind a lost Inca civilization. That doesn't sound like she's in high school at all, okay? I'm just saying, Dora. Dora the Explorer.
Oh, my title in WoW is Nymphadora the Explorer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is. Like, I worked real hard for that title before Flying came out.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what to feel about it. The photo that they posted.
So, it's essentially a coming-of-age movie with Dora the Explorer.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this actress that they have here looks like she already came of that age and went past. I'm just saying.
I agree with you. I think she looks a little bit older than high school. She looks like she's in college. That girl looks like she's in college. Um, for those of you who are interested, did you say that it's coming out August 2nd, 2019?
No, I didn't. I did not mention when it was going to be released.
Yeah. So next year, this time, you guys can go watch Dora the Explorer come of age in her own teen movie.
Dora the Explorer.
I just, okay.
No swiping.
The first thing that came to my mind.
Swiper swiped my homework.
The thing that came to my mind with this, the first thing that came to my mind was, is she going to break the fourth wall and look into the camera and ask the audience in the theater to help her find things?
Hey, audience, can you see my parents from here?
Hey, audience, can you help me find my tampons? Wow. And with that, we're gonna go to the Marvel Universe. I'm sorry. That's just weird. It's just weird. It's just weird, man. It's just weird. So, Marvel Studios, for the 10th anniversary of the Marvel Universe, is doing a film festival with every single Marvel movie that exists in the past few years. So, like, you know, stuff from before the current Marvel Universe. They're not doing it all at once, so you do get to actually go home, you do get to actually eat, but they're teaming up with IMAX, and they are bringing it to IMAX movies. So all 20 Marvel movies will be back on the big screen from August 30th, so the end of this month, through September 6th for the 10th anniversary. And we have put the schedule up. So Thursday, August 30th, they will have Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, and Thor. The 31st, they'll have Captain America, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor 2. Saturday will be Captain America, what is that, Winter Soldier? I can't read the little font, I'm sorry. I don't remember what they're all called. Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, whatever, Ant-Man, and so on and so on and so forth. You guys can look at the thing. It's a pretty big thing.
28 movies.
Yeah.
28.
So they're doing four movies a day. And they're starting the matinee time, so it'll be, does it say what time? I don't think it says what time. You'll have to check your local...
Matinee is always different, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to check your local theater, your local IMAX theater on that to see what that is. It's gonna be 400 plus dollars. Yeah, that's gonna, yeah. Small loan to watch. Or is it one of those things
where you can actually just like buy a single ticket and just not leave the theater for the whole day?
It not at my theater. My theater has assigned seats, so you better get up and move.
I'd choose the same seat for every single showing. I'm like, I ain't moving.
No, like when you go buy your seat, you have to pick like D6, D5 kind of deal.
I choose it for all four, so I don't have to move. Make sure that I'm.
You mean like one ticket for all four movies, or separate? I don't know how they don't actually say how they're doing it.
Because that one ticket obviously isn't going to be the cost of like one movie,
right?
But I can picture it was like, oh, if you want to watch all four, pay for it now, you get the fourth movie free, kind of thing.
Yeah, I am, if you're a member of AMC's A-List, you can use it towards a ticket to any movie as well. And AMC's A-List is, I think it's, the $10 a month, and you get, like, a movie a day for free. So that's a really good deal. That is awesome. uh Holy cow. So that's actually kind of cool. And if I had the money to do that, I would be down to do that. I would really like to see them all at once.
Yeah, I would totally. I want to go pro watch 4 movies simultaneously. There is one movie that did that. What was that on film? Not Kill Bill, but the one. It was a double feature film. You paid one ticket. It was actually 2 movies in one. I can't remember. It'll come to me later. I'm talking like this was probably like 10 years ago. It's okay, come to me later.
Well,
Grindhouse. Thank you guys. Thank you.
I never saw that actually.
That was 2 movies. And then like the whole intermission thing, people thought it was done and they started getting up and leaving, and then the workers of the movie theater like stood in front of the door. It's not done. You got 2 more hours.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. That actually wraps us up for our entertainment news, our pop culture news. That's the word I was looking. Sorry, you guys. I am super stressed with this move, and my brain like has farted. It farted Monday and has not worked all week, so I apologize. You're lucky I'm here. So moving on to gaming news.
You're lucky that she's here, not me. Just her.
Actually, we didn't think DJ was gonna be here today, so yeah, you're lucky DJ's here.
The universe. Barely. I woke up at 1 in the afternoon. I woke up like 2 hours ago. All right, so Blizzard. That's all your realm, Blizzard.
So this is pretty cool. Blizzard is inviting people to come and compete in Overwatches. They're gonna have an actual open division. And so what this means is it's not... So when they started up the Overwatch League, they had people come in and try out for various teams. Well, this is a little bit different. You actually bring your team and compete. And you can... It starts... I think you have to sign up by August 14th. And the season will start August 18th. And finish on September 15th. And it's it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Broadcaster Royale PUBG tournament thing that just happened, where it opens up the door for people who are not necessarily professional, but gives them an opportunity to become professional or see if they want to become professionals. So the top 4 teams at the end will face off against the bottom 4 teams in Overwatch Contenders, and any that win will be pushed into the next Contenders season. 100 so far. When the article came out, 144 have already signed up, but I think that 600 teams have signed up to any given regional league, and 144 have done so in North America. So yeah, if you want to go pro with Overwatch League and you didn't get a chance to get in on one of the pro teams, you can make your own team and possibly get in and start competing. And I think that's really cool. And it's still open. You've got 3 more days as of this filming to get in and do all that. And good luck to those of you who want to do it. I'm excited. What do you think about it? I mean, you kind of...
I think it's... Well, I don't really play Overwatch. I play it casually, super, super casually.
No, but you do like esports stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it for myself personally. But I do think that they're almost taking a page out of Fortnite's book on this. Only because Fortnite does have that play mode, the Showdown, Fortnite Showdown thing. And for their tournaments, they've actually been taking the top players from the Showdown, who are a bunch of people who haven't been signed to a team or an organization or anything like that, and inviting them to their actual competitive tournaments. That is a great way to showcase lesser known players or
Mm-hmm.
streamers or any of those things. Because if you notice right now in our esports scene, especially for Fortnite, and I hate this the most, it goes by popularity. It's 100% popularity.
Yeah.
Ninja is a great player. Yes, I will not deny that he's a great player. He's not the best player. He really isn't. There are tons of people who are better than Ninja. That's amazing because Ninja is a very highly skilled player. However, he gets invited. His name is on the top of everything because he's so popular.
Yeah. Exactly.
And there's like, yeah, and there's players that are just equally as great or better, but they don't have that spotlight. And this is a great way to showcase that. And I think this is a great way forward for Overwatch, for any esports games. Literally, is this that there's people who are really great at a game, but they don't know how to reach out to an organization. They don't even know that they
Yeah.
have the option to do so. Like, people don't understand that background, so to be able to offer it on their dashboard, on their whatever they're using, whatever game it is for their launcher, and to see like, hey, I can actually try this and do this, cool, and just make it so easy for them to get in. So I think we just need to put it back towards not being a popularity contest as it is about skills and
Yeah.
technique.
I love what you said, that it's that opportunity to find those other good players, because I actually ended up participating in the Broadcaster Royale PUBG tournament, and I had a lot of fun doing that. We didn't get past the open. Like, we knew we wouldn't. We weren't expecting to. Um we ended up, me and Music Chick ended up 16th, which is mediocre. We were average. We ended up right there in the average. I'm sorry, we ended up 21st. We were right there in the average column, which, I don't expect to go pro with PUBG, but I love these games and these companies opening up more to, yes, have your professional division, but also have your open division, because it actually makes the game more fun. It adds an element to the game for those of us who are kind of competitive but know that we can't be competitive at a professional level, and allows us to kind of compete on a smaller scale, on a lower level. So I love Overwatch, and I actually wanted to try and be professional with Overwatch, but I made the mistake of doing an Overwatch podcast and got burnt out. So I took a very long hiatus from the game and have recently been playing it again and have rekindled my love. And I now want to create a team of people to go competitive with and try and possibly do this next year. So I'm excited. I'm excited that you have these big companies like Fortnite, Epic and Blizzard, who are opening that door for the smaller people. To me, I equate it to like softball leagues. You've got your professional baseball gamers, and then you've got, the church softball league, because people just kind of want to play softball. They still want to play baseball, but they know they're not going to ever be professional. That to me, that's what it feels like.
Kind of that this isn't listed on top of it, and it's very interesting that this topic is coming up now. Like you're saying, it's great to open that up and get that understanding. And like you said, you signed up for the Broadcaster Royale. It gives people that understanding of what it can be like in the esports scene, in the competitive scene. And some people will love it, some people will hate it, but you don't know until you actually try it out and see for
Mm-hmm.
yourself and get that understanding and get that adrenaline rush to get that feeling. And
Definitely.
it makes a huge difference on a lot of scales, because you might find that this is something that you enjoy. Like, I had a friend who went to Evo for the very first time this year, and they didn't think they'll make it out of their first pool. They did, and now they know, even though they didn't make it out of their second pool and they spent money to go there, it was an experience that they needed to see, like, is this what I want to do going forward?
Right.
And it is, and it pushes that person to want to improve themselves, to go farther, to see where it can go for them. And the point of the matter here is that currently, like this past week at work, I met this I wouldn't say colleague, it was somebody else come down and doing a demo. And we ended up talking about Fortnite, and his son plays Fortnite, and his son's the same age as mine, and he's not a gamer. He doesn't have that mentality, and he's like, it's just a waste of time. I don't understand why my son wants to waste this. It's not going to go anywhere for him. He does nothing. And it's because he didn't understand it. And I told him, I explained to him, like, there's this showdown. There's this kid that just like won one of the first tournaments that they did for the summer skirmish and made like $250,000, and all they did was play Fortnite. And he's like, are you serious? Like, yeah, this kid isn't signed with an esports team. It's just somebody who really loves playing the game. Nobody knows who he was. And I think that's really awesome. And it opened up his mind. He was like, I didn't even think that was a possibility. It's like, yeah, as much as like, as we have to change our mentality of having to see video games as just this waste of time, that there is a huge potential for it. I mean, it's obvious. There's colleges that are opening up scholarships for esports, for professional players. The University of Southern California, USC, has their own esports arena and division. They have their own thing. It's there. It's growing. It's slow, but you know, if our kids and us are looking to play and enjoy those things, it's a viable possibility for a career. And it shouldn't be like the end all be career. Like if somebody wants to aspire to be an esports player and be professional, you got to know that you're going to peak out at some point. And it also leads like, well, okay, well, after I'm an esports player, my career and that is done, I can be a shoutcaster, I can be a marketer, I can do PR. There's so many other viable things to do. So I know that it started off with just Overwatch, like opening up their just open division here, but that is just like that entry gate to so much more that can happen in the world for the person who's interested in it. And the fact that there are platforms, there's Blizzard, there's Epic, that's starting to open up this thing and making it more open and in your face to be like, look, it's very easy, just give it a try.
One of the you know, I like what you said. So one of the things that, like, when my parents first learned about my streaming and stuff, they had the same mentality. Oh, you're playing video games. You're not doing anything of value. And, you know, we've discussed this before. After my mom actually experienced the stream and the fact that I actually talk to people and the fact that, you know, I do kind of make a little bit of money for those people who are willing to give me money to entertain them. It's a different way to ingest entertainment now. It's evolving. And with any sport, like you said, I know esports is the right term because it's not a physical sport. It's essentially a mental sport like chess, but you will peak out. You will hit your platform. Like with any kind of activity of that nature, at some point you will be not the best anymore. That's just nature. So why not go for it when you can? Just like all of those people who say, you know, why did they go to the NFL and not finish their degree? Well, they can always go back and finish their degree. They're not always going to get this opportunity to play in the NFL. So why don't you go for the esport? Go for it. You're not always going to be able to do this. Like, do it. Like, go for it. And you're right. We need to change that mentality that video games are just this thing that people do in their spare time, because it's not anymore. It's really not, because depending on what the game is, there's so much out there. There's so much potential out there. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be really good. That sparked some really good discussion. Nice. Good job, Overwatch. This is why I love you so much.
You know what sport, like athletes and even esports athletes shouldn't do? They shouldn't do drugs. They shouldn't.
Hey,
but there's a game that focuses on you taking some sort of drug.
That is true. Yeah.
It's called We Happy Few.
That game is weird. It came out yesterday.
Okay, tell me.
It came out yesterday, didn't it?
Was it yesterday? Look, my days are all skewed here. I know it came out this week, so we'll just say it came out this week.
I believe it came out yesterday, and they've already announced like DLC that's coming out, which is why I put this in here. There's a free sandbox mode coming with this, and a couple of other stories that are coming out called Lightbringer, We All Fall Down, and Roger and James in They Came From Below. So you've already got DLC that's being announced for this, and I was watching the trailer before I was watching the trailer, and I'm just like, this is nuts.
It is crazy. So if anybody doesn't know what We Happy Few is, We Happy Few is a tale of a plucky bunch of moderately terrible people trying to escape from a lifetime of cheerful denial in the city of Wellington Wells. And in this alternative 1960s England, conformity is key, and you'll have to fight or blend in with the drug-addled inhabitants, most of whom don't take kindly to people who won't abide by their not-so-normal rules. You know why I want to play this game? I can't play this game because it's first person, and I can't play a majority of first person games. You ever read the book Brave New World?
No.
Aldous Huxley. It's one of my favorite books from, I think, middle school. So Brave New World is that. Okay, how about the movie Gattaca?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. What's the other world? What's the other movie? It had Ethan Hawke in it and Jude Law with Uma Thurman. It's the one where they segregated how well you did in society based off of your health.
Interesting. Okay, I will IMDb this while you continue your thought.
Okay, so basically, what I found so interesting is that one of my favorite books called Brave New World from Aldous Huxley was based on this new world dystopia in where they determined that the failure of human beings was based off of
that is Gattaca.
Feelings. We had feelings, and that was Gattaca? Okay. What is the other one that I'm also thinking about on top of Gattaca?
Fatal the Baptist said Repo Man?
No. The movie that I said Gattaca with, I am thinking Gattaca, but it's the one with Batman, not Ben Affleck. Batman, previous one. I can't remember the actor's name either. And Christian Bale, and it had like this gun kata in it. I can't remember the name of that movie, but those three movies is the ones I'm thinking of. Plus, this book is basically we live in a world that's controlled. We failed as human beings in our society because of our feelings. Because we were emotional beings. So it's either we took away the things that gave us those feelings, or we took drugs to nullify those feelings to create this equilibrium. Thank you, guys. This is why I like having the chat, because
okay,
here you go.
So no, I have not seen any of that. I'm sorry.
You really? Okay, so you need to watch those films. You also need to read that book, because this is why I want to play We Happy Few.
Okay.
But they don't all pull in together, but it's talking about this world, this universe, where to create this better thing is we either take away the things we love, or we take drugs to null us. So we're just this black and white world to make everything great. And the thing is that when you stop taking your drugs, people would actually report you because you're ruining our society.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. I'm so glad that the chat's here to fill my mistakes.
There's also Fahrenheit 451.
I haven't watched that one yet. But on top of that, me and Nifdar might not be currently playing it, but be on the lookout in the future for a review of We Happy Few. We have one of our fellow members, freelancers, Aaron, actually playing, and will be coming to us with that review soon in the future.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to read it and see what her thoughts are, and you can definitely go check out our Medium blog and publications for past reviews at medium.com/GirlStreamers.
Speaking of reviews, that's a great segue. Speaking of reviews, IGN just fired a dude for plagiarizing a review on Dead Cells, which we actually have a good review on Dead Cells up on our Medium blog right now, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But so gentleman named Philip Mewson, is that how you say his name?
That's how I would say his name.
Apparently plagiarized not only the written review, but the video review of Dead Cells. And the only reason, the way we know this happened is I can't find the name of the group. Crap. What was the name of the group?
The
Boomstick Gaming. Boomstick Gaming posted a video called IGN Copy My Dead Cells Review. What do I do? And there is a side-by-side comparison of the video review, and it is almost verbatim when you're watching this. And so there's actually, when I posted the information in our chat, or in our when I posted the link 2 days ago about this, the following day we found out he got fired. Today he put out an apology and said, I did not intend to plagiarize. First off, how do you not intend to plagiarize, especially in the internet? Like, why would you plagiarize? Because somebody's going to call your ass out on it. 2, how do you not intentionally plagiarize? That is not something you accidentally do for a 1,000-word essay. That's not an accident. I'm sorry.
It's a choice. Plagiarism is a choice. You choose to plagiarize. You don't accidentally. I think I'll do it today. No,
Yeah.
I won't do it today. He did it. But the thing is, the video that had his apology was actually taken down. It was taken down because he didn't apologize.
Oh, you didn't get to see it?
Person. Yeah, I didn't get to see it. It was
He
taken
didn't.
down.
He never apologized to the people he plagiarized. He never did.
He didn't, and he also called out Kotaku, saying that, let me know if you find anything else. And you know what? That's funny. It's funny. And you're gonna challenge people, yet alone the internet, is like, you know what? I did it by accident, but if you can find anything else, let me see if you can do it. You know what?
They found
The
more
internet
shit.
will always accept your challenge. Always accept your challenge. They're never gonna turn that stuff down. They're not. And guess what? They did. They
Yep.
just find one extra one. They found like 2 extras. So apparently he also, he plagiarized from Nintendo Life, FIFA 18.
Yep.
They did a side-by-side comparison on top of that. He also did another one. Let's see, where is this one? With Engadget. How are you gonna plagiarize Engadget? Like, really? Really? I mean,
Yeah.
and this one's for Metroid Samus Returns back in 2017. So that wasn't only his first offense. That was like 3 strikes out, buddy. 3 strikes. You're out. No one's going to want to hire you as a serious journalist anymore. They don't even want you to write their commercials. Nobody is even going to allow you to write like the little signature tag for their emails at this point.
I can't. I'm sorry. I get that you have a family to take care of, but so do these other people that you're taking their words from them. Come up with your own stuff. I hope I don't see any kind of articles from you again, because that's not okay. That is not okay. You are stealing somebody's content, and the artist in me is just so. I saw the apology, and it was so bad. It was so fake. You could tell it was fake. It hurt me. It hurt me to watch it, because it made me angry watching it, because it wasn't an apology. He had no remorse. He had absolutely no remorse. In fact, he was smiling, and he was like, his attitude said, you know what, guys? I got caught, and I'm really sorry I got caught, but stuff like this happens all the time. I'm not the only one. And it's just like, go do things. It was so insincere. So
Very
insincere.
insincere, and that's probably why the video was taken down, is that they they called him on it.
I
And
also
he
love that.
probably good.
I was just gonna say, I love that Kotaku was like, yeah, let me just drop this stuff on you. Like, here's proof that you've done this before.
Yep, exactly. Challenge accepted. Oh, we'll make you eat your words. We'll just make sure that those are actually your words and not anybody else's.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's definitely on that blacklist. He's on the blacklist. He has to pretty much find another career. That's it.
My thing is, you work for a really big, like, we get a lot of our stuff from IGN. Like, you work for a big company. How do you not think somebody's gonna see that you took their words? Like, how? How? Anyway.
Yet alone, he didn't just go like I thought honestly that he was trying to be super sly by choosing a smaller. I hate having to call this person a smaller YouTuber, but it kind of is. It's a smaller channel compared to the vast amount in there. Even though before this, I think he had somewhere around like 5,000 subs, which is still a really good amount, for someone that's starting out. And his video content is really good. And I think this helped. It helped out Boomstick Gaming tremendously, because I think when
Yeah.
I first heard the news and I went to his YouTube channel to watch his comparison video, he had somewhere around 5,000 subscribers, and I think yesterday when I checked, he had somewhere around 45,000.
That's awesome.
So hopefully they're enjoying his content, and that's really, really great for him. I'm glad that there is an actual upside to this happening. It sucks, but my point is, I thought he would have figured he'd find somebody that's smaller. Nobody's gonna notice that I stole their work, but he took it from Nintendo Life and Engadget.
Yeah.
Like, it's you dumb or what?
Yeah, I know. I know. Like, I just... yeah. But, good for you, Boomstick Gaming. I hope something good comes out of this for you. I went over and watched his content, too. He does actually have some pretty cool content. So, you guys should go check out Boomstick Gaming on YouTube. So... moving on to awesome gaming news, Red Dead Redemption 2 has come out with a gameplay trailer that is 6 minutes long, and it's amazing. That's all I gotta say. That's all you need to know. It's beautiful. I am so excited. Like, you have to take care of your horse. You're not just bonding with your horse now. You have to actually, like, take care of your horse and, like, brush your horse and not only that, like, they actually have different horses in the game this time around. So certain horses are for certain deeds and, like, true life. So I love that aspect for the horse person in me. That excites me so much. I will have so many Susans. So many Susans. So many.
I like how you're super excited that. You know what other game where you can take care of your horse and I think is really fun? Harvest Moon.
I have never played that game, actually.
I'm gonna be that hater here. I don't really care for Red Dead Redemption. I'm like trying to find what's so great about it. I don't know. It's just me. I guess I just don't like cowboys. If it was like space cowboys, okay, sure. I can take care of a space horse. But I don't know. I don't like cowboys.
I love westerns. And I didn't think I would like Red Dead Redemption. I honestly didn't know I would like Red Dead Redemption until I played it for the first time, and I fell in love with it. I really did. What's really exciting about this is they have updated the shooting, where you You actually have more proper recoil on shooting. You have more accuracy, and the reload, you actually see them do the reload. It's not just, you know, the quick thing it is in Red Dead in the first one. Um, it just there's so much good stuff. I will be excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. You can be excited for whatever you're excited for over there. I'll be excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. What's really cool is you were playing these the bandits. You're in this gang and you guys move from location to location. And you have to get to know your gang members and you have to build up a repertoire and, you know, be friendly with them. And it's they're adding some extra elements to the gameplay that I'm really excited to see, that I would have actually enjoyed in the first game as well. When it comes to like actually hunting and stuff like that, you actually can put your deer, you actually see your deer go on the horse. I know it's simple, it's something silly and simple, but it's really cool to see them actually, you're not just cutting it open like in the first game. You actually see yourself putting it on the horse and then you're taking it into town. And of course, as always, you can either be a good outlaw or a bad outlaw. You can be honorable or dishonorable, and play however you want to play. And just like before, it is open world, a fairly open world, and you can explore and have fun with it. So I will probably do my pre-order in a couple of weeks for it because I want all of those extra goodies that come with it. But yes, I am super excited about Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's about it.
Okay. So someone's bringing up Magnificent Seven. I haven't watched Magnificent Seven, and I know I say I don't really like cowboy westerns. Really, the same goes with movies, I think. But the only like the only western movie that I really did like was The Quick and the Dead.
Oh, that is such a good one.
It was, and that's like that might be the only cowboy-ish movie that I actually kind of like super like. I don't hate it. I get really bored, and I get that same feeling with video games. So The Quick and Dead is definitely a western movie that I can probably watch a million times over and I don't get tired of. It's like a really old film. When is that from?
It's a classic. It's a good one. So. It's a really good one.
But because Acid Queen just wants to jump the gun over here.
I know.
So impatient. Gosh.
She acts like we don't have it on the thing.
God, like we would like ignore it. God, we know how to do our job.
It's like what's funny is it came out like 2 hours before we did this. Like I was putting it in the thing like this morning. I was like, oh great. Wild Wild West with Will Smith.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this, okay? That's a fair talk. First of all, Wild Wild West, I'm sorry, I know I tried to be, but that ain't no Western film. I feel like that is like a slap in the face to Western films. And with that being said, I do like Wild Wild West.
I secretly like Wild Wild West.
But I wouldn't consider it a Western film, okay? But yes, we do have news of Fallout 76 from QuakeCon, and we are going to be discussing that right now.
So there's a lot, actually.
You're so impatient.
Okay. There is so much that came out from... I said Gamescom earlier in Discord. I meant QuakeCon. Gamescom's later. Yeah. I don't really know where to start.
Okay, I'm going to start with this. So they do have a beta that's coming out in October. They've mentioned this before, but I think we're all very much conditioned of like, hey, if you're pre-ordered this, get instant access to the beta in XYZ date. This one is, you have to pay very specific attention to their wording here because they did mention to like, you'll be in a pool of players to get it. Meaning, you won't get instant access in October. you'll be lucky. They're gonna randomly pick from their pool of pre-ordered people to play in this beta. So it's not even a
Oh,
guaranteed thing that you did, which I have very mixed feelings about and very, very angry about. That's like that might be
that's sly.
the only thing I don't like. That's super sly and super dirty.
I agree. I agree.
So there's that.
Wow. I didn't even. Wow. That's. Yeah.
Because like I said, we are conditioned to automatically assume that if they're offering a beta, that once you pre-order, you get instant access. No,
Yeah.
not this one. Nope.
That's.
I'm just throwing it out there that it makes me angry.
Just FYI, folks. Just FYI. So, they kind of went through and talked about like it's a here I'm gonna link the Polygon thing because they actually have the highlight and the full video in the article for those of you who want to watch it because it was the keynote. Um. So.
So we want to talk about some of the key things. Like, so they're changing how they're doing their special system,
Yeah.
and it's actually going to be card based. I'm not too sure. I have like mixed feelings about that one.
I don't really
I'm late to
understand
jumping on the Fallout. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit late on jumping on the Fallout wagon. Like I didn't start playing Fallout 2, Fallout 3, and it was probably a month before Fallout 4 released, and then I played Fallout 4, and I like their whole special system for the perk system, their perk system, and how it has changes. So I'm not too sure how it's going to change having it as a card based. I think it's really cool. I think the little cards that they have was actually pretty cute. As me growing to be a fan of Fallout in general, I kind of think it would be really cool if they offered it as a physical like collector's item too. That might just be me, or if they
Oh, that would be
made a
kind of
board
cool.
game based of that, I think that would be really, really awesome. They made a board game and it kind of included this whole card system they have for their perks. Um,
I actually like this next one. I think it's kind of cool.
okay, go ahead.
The PvP combat system. They're aware that some people are gonna be, just hellbent on going and killing everybody. So the developers, what they want to do to deal with the misbehavior is, and this is a quote, we turn the assholes into interesting content. And so killing other humans will put a bounty on your head, and a revenge system lets them come back to kill their adversaries for double the usual payout. So if someone decides that they want to go around and like keep killing people over and over, they're gonna get a bounty up, and then you can come and collect that bounty essentially, which I kind of like. I kind of dig. That's kind of cool. And I think that's an interesting way to do PvP. It's different, and I kind of dig it.
So the other thing is how about the people who are going to purposely grieve as a sense to cheese the system for that bounty money? Like, what's going to stop two friends from like, dude, you kill me, come and hunt me down, you'll get that bounty, and then later on, just rinse and repeat that whole process.
Well,
I'm glad that they have a system in place to deal with griefers, but then what stops people from actually kind of taking advantage of that system between two friends?
But that, Acid Queen, it comes out of the douche's own pocket. It comes out of their pocket, so their money is being taken away. And I don't think there's a way to transfer money to each other. So, they didn't say whether or not there is a money transfer system. So if you do that, you're kind of screwing yourself over, and your friends reaping the benefits. So you're always gonna have griefers, but I think it's gonna be really hard to cheat the system that way. It's gonna be one of those where you just really have to want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that whole it keeps the honest man out, I guess. The more difficult you make it to steal something, then they're more likely to not steal it unless they absolutely like they just don't care. Um so I'm
I'm glad
interested.
they just have a system
Yeah.
that is your bounty can exceed your caps. Yeah, I think they said something. Let me go back and read it to go
That's a
back.
good question. I don't recall
Let
that.
me just read it verbatim here. What happens? It means a player who kills another will become a wanted murderer with a bounty on their head. That bounty is going to be paid out of the offending player's cap total and will be commensurate with their level. Furthermore, players will be alerted by these wanted murderers' presence on the minimap and they'll be flagged by a big red star. But the murderers themselves won't be able to see players or even know they've been flagged. Fallout 76 also features a revenge system whereby players killed by a human player can go back and find them and try to kill them for double the ordinary cap payout. PvP Fallout. I don't think it can exceed. From that wording, I don't think it exceeds what their caps are.
I do like that they can no longer see people on their minimap and uh they have no idea they're flagged.
Well, if they don't see people on their
That's what they
minimap,
said, right?
then isn't that wouldn't well yeah. But if you don't see people on your minimap, then that's kind of like something's wrong. I might be flagged.
Well, yeah. I mean,
like I would normally see people here. I don't. Yeah. I'm being hunted.
Well, I mean, but that's your incentive to go, okay, I may want to stop. You know what I mean? Like it's so I like that they're actively trying to prevent it. Like you said, you know, there's probably going to be ways to cheese the system, but what is for sale? I don't know. Did they go into like I don't know enough about the Fallout universe to be able to actually answer that question. So I think it's one of those you're gonna have to wait and see. There will be a lot of customization options for character creation. And your appearance can be changed at any time, so you're not stuck in the first creation, which is kind of cool. They will support mods in some form, because they are fully aware of their mod support for all of their games. But he did say that it is going to be complicated because it is going to be online, but they are working on it because they are fully aware of how much, you know, Bethesda folks like to mod Bethesda stuff.
There's a lot to Fallout 76 that I'm so unsure about. Like, I'm going to play it. 100% I'm going to play it. But it's such a huge change compared to the previous in the series. And that whole lacking the NPCs and the whole questing, it's something that I can't justify getting anything more than the basic game itself, just the standard edition. I mean, I really want that helmet. I know that helmet is sold out.
Yeah.
But if for some reason in the graces of the gaming universe that they kind of resell like kind of what they did with the Pip-Boy or is available somewhere, I'm not even 100% sure that I can justify just having the helmet as a reason to buy it, just because there's so much unknown for me in the game. I know that they're announcing a lot. I know that the release date is right around the corner. It's going to be what, November 14th. It's that whole thing of that this open world, this universe.
Some more things that they said you are susceptible to mutations at certain levels of radiation, and apparently you have no choice about it, which I would think would be standard in a post-apocalyptic world. So Gardner, I'm just reading this from Kotaku. Gardner told a story about getting a surprise mutation called Bird Bomb that increased his jump height while decreasing his strength. So, yeah,
There's a balance in
that's
there.
yeah. There'll be a balance in there. So to kind of to kind of explain the PvP thing, you have to accept the invitation for PvP. If you kill somebody, even though they don't accept your thing for PvP, that's when you become a wanted murderer. Um, uh, and you'll be able to ignore and block players in sessions. Um, you can flag yourself as a pacifist, so you don't have to do PvP, which I really like because I prefer PvE. I don't like PvP. So I think that's really, really cool that you can do that. When you do die, you get to keep all of your equipment and caps. You'll drop your junk and upgrade material that you use in your camps for building objects and equipment, but you'll keep everything else. When you do die, you have the option of respawning close to your death point or back at Vault 76 for free. You can respawn at other places, but it will cost caps. When nukes go off, camps are destroyed. The map loots change. Yeah, there's a lot that came out. I'm trying to go down the list. Here's another, and here I will actually link the Kotaku article as well, so you guys can also look through it. You love that you can get a blueprint of your camp. Yeah, you do get a blueprint of your camp if it gets hit, so that you can rebuild it quicker. And there will be private servers, which I think is pretty cool, and is probably where more of the modded stuff is gonna be, that makes sense to me. Anything else you want to add to that list? I'm interested. I really want to see how this turns out. It sounds like it's gonna be fun.
It is. I'm looking forward to it, but there's just still so much more information that I want.
Yeah.
And we'll see. It's right around the corner. I'm gonna play it. I know that. I still don't think I can get anything. I can convince myself to get anything past the standard edition to buy.
Yeah. All right.
So,
next.
Discord.
Yeah.
Discord, which is, if anybody does not know and you're new to the stream, our community is built on Discord. Discord has been a lifesaver, and it has grown into this behemoth of everything I think every PC gamer wanted. Because if you're a PC gamer, we weren't lucky like console gamers to have built-in party chat system or anything like that. We had to use things like Mumble or
Ventrilo.
Yeah, Ventrilo. There you go. We had to have these third-party things, and then here comes Discord with like our answers to everything, and it was free. And it used to be only user-based, and now it created its own platform. It has our communities growing on it, a lot of different communities growing on it, and doing huge things and pushing that market. And even though Twitch does have their app that tried to simulate something like similar, I have more hate than love for their platform, which was formerly Curse. But one thing that it did have that Discord didn't have was that whole thing about buying games or even having it used as a game launcher. But not anymore. Not anymore. Discord is actually working on implementing that into their whole platform now, which I think is great. It's not available to anybody yet. It's currently in a beta. They're testing it out. But if you've noticed on your launcher, if you can see, activity that's going on, you can already launch games that you own through Discord. You can see what your friends are playing, who they're in group with, all these other features. So you can tell that is coming. It is. So it's pretty much if you're in the beta and you subscribe to Nitro, you'll get access to all of the Nitro games, which is completely a different section from that games. And it's kind of like a Netflix thing that's they're talking about, which I think is absolutely great. And I would love if I had a uniform launcher for all of my games, even if it's not to just purchase all of my games, because we have, what do we have? We have EA's Origins, or no, EA Play.
It's
Origins.
It's Origins. You've got the Blizzard launcher. Yeah, or I'm sorry, Battle.net
launcher. Then Steam. You have the Epic launcher. You have the launcher for Warframe. You have Steam. You have all of these different launchers, and it's kind of crazy to just have all those things. So if I can have it, even if it's just to launch my games, not necessarily to buy any of them, all of them, I would love that.
I really like having that all-in-one. I can launch my stuff from it, but I like that I can buy games on it too. And from what I was reading, they're gonna kind of gear towards the indie markets because, you know, all of those other names that we've just said have other big games, so they don't need to worry about the bigger games. I think it's cool. I do think it's a lot. They are implementing a lot very quickly, so I hope they're being smart about it because I don't want it to go poorly. I love, like, when they integrated the video, because I use it for the podcast. We're using it right now. Like, it's so much better than Skype. It's very well implemented. So I'm leery about how fast they're moving into certain areas. But at the same time, they need to make money somehow.
They do. They have their own little PTR like servers. So I have it. I use it. That is my daily. I use their trust Discord option rather than the one that's open to the public, because I like seeing all the changes, and they actually go out and test a lot of these things pretty thoroughly, and I almost have an update on my Discord every day. But yeah, like you were saying, like they have to be making money some way, some form, somehow.
And this is a great way to keep the platform free, but integrate a way to make more money, because not everybody wants to subscribe to Nitro. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not gonna lie, but I
actually know a lot of people who do.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how many people subscribe to Nitro. But I'll buy a game through Discord. Yeah, that's cool as shit.
I'm sorry. The other thing here as well is not only are they opening up the options of buying games through Discord, you also have a way of providing recommendations or like little short reviews, kind of like how Steam does, which I think is a really nice way that they're implementing that as well. They're depending solely on the community to, you know, give it that genuine feel and to form how it goes going forward as far as the games, which is kind of what Steam does too, is how to recommend certain games to you to make it that kind of sort of customizable. Which allows me to also open up in a little segue here too. If you haven't known, we do have a group on Steam that you can join for GirlStreamers. I am the curator, so we do actually have recommendations for games on top of there too. Mm-hmm. And I always link back to our, you know, game reviews on Medium. So.
One of the people in chat, Fatal the Baptist, said, and Steam is trying to emulate them. I can see that Steam's trying, because with their update and stuff, they are, but Steam has needed to update for a very long time, and with Discord and stuff, it kind of kicked Steam into gear to upgrade their stuff, because Steam has needed to be upgraded, and I still won't stop using Steam. It's a great platform to use that stuff. I still prefer, I prefer Discord as far as chat and stuff like that. But I I like all these options that are out there now. Um, I really do, and I like that.
Competition brews
Yeah,
creativity.
it does. It really
Progress.
does. I love it. Oh, thank you for linking that, Carice. We will make sure to also link the Steam community group in the YouTube channel down below as well in the recorded portion of this.
So our next topic is going to be an interesting one. We debated on bringing this up, but I think we eventually came to the decision that we will include this topic. I think it's going to fall into an opinion piece, and we would love to know what your thoughts are. Me and Nivador
oh,
have
you're
two
totally
opposing opinions.
skipping. Oh, oh, you took out my thing.
What thing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I put my stuff in the wrong place. You're good. Keep going. Keep going. You're good. My stuff is moved around.
Okay, you're making me.
I'm
Feel
sorry.
like, what did I cut you off from nothing.
I'm like, wait, that is not what's next in my OBS. What are we doing? Okay, my bad. Sorry. Yes, continue.
But it is going to be a very much an opinion piece, and it's kind of something that I don't want to say is a debate. I think we're going to both present both of our opinions on it. It's actually kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum here, but I thought it was actually good and healthy. And we would love to know what everybody's thoughts are live here in chat and also on YouTube. I think it's a good discussion. So recently, as far as recently, I think the last time I heard about this was actually when I first heard about it was a week or two ago. And it was a YouTube video that someone posted that Ninja doesn't play with females. I'm gonna let Nymphadora start off with her thoughts on this.
Well, I think you have to go into why he said he doesn't play with females. He said he doesn't play with girls because he doesn't want to essentially feed the gossip mongers. Because he is married and he doesn't want to get into that whole aspect of it. And I understand that sentiment. I really do. I fully understand that sentiment as a married woman. And, you know, I have a husband. I play with guys all the time. I get it. I get it. But I think it's a cop-out. I think that you have a platform. You are very popular. You have the people who follow you right now are the majority of your audience are at a very young age that you can teach them to respect women. And you can teach them that it's not okay to just say, oh, this person is giggling a certain way, they must be having, you can't, what he means, okay, Carice asks, how can you not play with everyone being on Fortnite? What we mean is, like, in chat, like, he doesn't stream with females on his stream. So it's not people in the game, it's people that he's actually streaming and playing with. And I get and I get that that's actually a decision a lot of people decide to not do because they don't want to deal with, that gossip and all of that stuff. But I think when you're at that level of celebrity, it just comes with the territory. And I personally feel like it's kind of a cop-out and it's kind of lazy. Like, you just don't want to deal with it. And yeah. Assuming gossip brings gossip, I mean, yeah. But DJ actually thinks the opposite of how I think on this.
Well, okay, you're not the only one. So as you can see here, majority of the chat here is on your side. And I know I have a very unpopular opinion about it, but it's one that I actually think I actually fully believe in. I understand why he wouldn't play with females, and I actually kind of support it. And it's a smart decision as far as his brand and his business goes. Yes, he can. He has the full option and that popularity to show a different way. But in you're as big as Ninja and you have so much going on, so much to manage, so much other drama that we probably don't even know. Do you think it is really that necessary to add on to the possibility of having rumors started just because you play with a female and something that she reacted to is taken differently? The internet is a very harsh and cruel and brutal place to be, and people will start not just rumors, they will poke and they will prod, they will do everything in their power to make something that is literally nothing into the biggest thing ever. And you put into the factor that it's his career, it is the respect for his wife, is the respect for whoever this potential female streamer may be, because they're not going to just attack him. They're going to attack his wife. They're going to attack the person that, you know, had this little giggle or said something some certain way that probably means absolutely nothing. And then he has to deal with that headache and trying to save face over nothing when he's trying to build whatever his career may be and his wife is trying to do. And at the same time, it's just like it's his wife can only take so much. And I know previously off stream you said that it has to do with the strength of your relationship, and if it breaks her, then it obviously wasn't a good marriage or good relationship. But a human being can only take so much criticism, so much poking, so much before they just break personally. And it does not mean anything as far as how strong or how faithful she believes her husband to be. It's just the fact that some people are not built to, like, some streamers aren't even built to deal with criticism and trolling from one person in their chat. Can you imagine if he had 100,000, a million people constantly belittling him in chat, on the internet, in emails? There's
I'm
people
gonna
who go
ask
as far
you
as going best.
a question. I'm gonna ask you a question on that. A streamer who can't handle the trolling, then why are they streaming? Seriously, like, if you can't handle the criticism, why are you putting yourself out there?
Because you don't know what your limit is. Sure, I can handle 10 people. I can handle 100 people who are trolling me and think nothing of it. But when you have as many people as Ninja does, you're gonna have a limit, because the internet can find out where you live. They can find out your number. And it has been known that the internet will and sends death threats to people's families. This isn't just gonna affect any of those people, whoever this other person is. People just, like, the internet is stupid and they like to go after their families for whatever reason it may be. Even if it's as small as, like, oh, he giggled at her joke, they must be flirting and sleeping together. You have a limit. Just because you can't handle 100,000 people trolling you and being assholes and harassing you over a joke doesn't mean you can't stream. You don't know what your limit is. You really don't, and you don't know until you actually get there. But if he's trying to deter this, to avoid this, to not only just save his face, but this just to prevent that from whoever this potential female streamer may be, but also his wife, who he loves and he adores and respects, and his family, I 100% will take his side on it, because that's just smart. And it sucks. It really, really does suck. It's not like he says that female streamers aren't worth his time. And I'm sure he plays with females off stream, where he has that personal relationship where they know it's nothing more than we're just friends. I don't think it's him trying to hide anything from his wife. It's just the fact that this crap happens. And if you have the opportunity to stop it or prevent it from happening, I'm sure he probably waited out. And it's like, it's easier for them to hate me for not wanting to play with females and deal with that small crowd than having a group of people who are just going to attack everybody else in my life for it.
But don't you think
there's
that...
a lot of... Oh, go ahead.
Don't you think that... and I realize he was responding to somebody asking why. He didn't just offer up this information. But now that it's out there in the public, don't you think that's actually going to make it look worse? That he chooses this because of I mean, I still think it's a bullshit reason. And like Keith Nightmare says, no one is assuming he's into any of the guys he spends hours playing with. And that's part of my problem is we're looking at it from a heterosexual point of view. Like, who knows? Like, I know that, and I brought that point up to you in the pre-show, and I know that, you know, just because you said, you know, he's married, they know that, you know, they're solid or whatever, but a lot of gay people get married to try and fit in. So, I, it, it's just,
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this thing. Why is it our business?
it's not.
Why is it our business? So, okay, so if it's not our business, why is it a big deal? Why does it matter to us, to me, to you, to anybody if he chooses to not play with women? It's
Because
none of our business. And we don't have to have an opinion. We don't have to feel the way that we do,
it's
but we
not our
choose to.
business what his sexual. I thought you were alluding to what his sexual orientation was, because I thought you were playing off of. It's not our business to know like what goes on between him and his wife. It isn't our business. But when you put yourself out there on a regular basis and you literally put your entire life, and I know they try to keep certain things personal, which is, I totally respect that. And here's my thing, guys. I respect Ninja and I like Ninja. I just think that I don't necessarily agree with his decision on this. But I mean, it's his decision on it, but it's out there now, and this is just my opinion on it.
So this girl is saying like if it's none of our business, but why does it matter who he plays with? Well, it doesn't matter who he plays and who he doesn't play with. The other half of this is that he just made this decision very early on. This wasn't something recent. This is before he blew up. This was a decision that he made from the beginning. Now, we don't know the reason exactly. There could be a whole history behind his decision. This could have been a decision he made that possibly early on, you know, when his wife wasn't his wife and it was his girlfriend and she felt insecure about something, and he made a conscious decision on her behalf for somebody that he loves, like out of respect for you. I won't play with female streamers. I won't do that. Out of respect for them, to build this bond, this trust, this foundation with his girlfriend, who is now his wife. That could be very well the option and the reasoning behind that as well too, because of these things. And is that her fault? No, but it was his decision. If that might be it, I'm not saying it is the reason. I'm not saying it is, but that could be the underlying real reason from I don't know how many years ago that he made that choice. And he's sticking with it and he's respecting it. But for us to poke at it, the fact that we're poking at the reason why he won't play with females is probably the same reason why he won't, period. Because we're poking at this and they're going to be poking at that. And the thing is, this is a less evil and a less headache for him to be ridiculed, like, oh, Ninja's sexist, Ninja won't do this, Ninja can't do that. Ninja can do a lot of things, but he's going to choose the one that's going to give him the less headache. I would.
This is not this is not an issue of misconstruing what Ninja's putting out there, Aiden. I understand the decision and why he chooses not to, but I actually like what Brat Queen said. You know, imagine the reaction of a female streamer who said she doesn't stream with men. Like, there is a double standard there. There is a double standard there. You know, he has friends in the industry that are female streamers. I'm totally taking a lot of this stuff from chat. And who are friends and peers in the industry. And it is, when you become a celebrity, it's a risk you run. Period. It's a risk you run. Gossip, even if he doesn't play with them, if he is seen with another female, they can find any reason to make these rumors up. There's That's why I
Like
think
this
it's a
one.
cop out. Like, I think it's a cop out because you can come up with any reason. It's the internet. You can do anything on the internet, essentially. If somebody really wants to harm his character way more than, you know, he can do himself, it's not hard, even if he chooses not to play with female characters or female people. Female streamers. My brain is like it's just gone.
Well, okay, so
Um,
you're saying that it's because he is a celebrity that he has to deal with it, and that's the lifestyle that he chose, is that he's gonna have to deal with it, the popularity of rumors and criticism like that. There's celebrities that carefully define how their persona is put out there and what people know about them very meticulously, and you don't hear about it because they want to avoid those things. They want to avoid those things 100%. I mean, do you ever hear any really like in the probably I'm going to say, somebody can tell me if I'm wrong here because I can't think of anything. Keanu Reeves is a really huge actor. He does a whole lot of things, and he chose to form his life the way it is so that people only see specific parts.
um,
And I feel like he tried to do that, and he tried to do that from the beginning. He didn't want to play with female streamers. That was a conscious effort that he decided to do. Um,
um,
but here's the other thing. So if we need to know why he doesn't play with female streamers, like, okay, so what about the thought process of like, why are there female streamers that choose to not point out if they're married or not, and lure people or lure men into like donating more money, and they know that is a strategy to use to convince, male viewers to donate more money, to give them more attention, yet they're choosing to just not put out their marriage status. That's their personal life. Just like
I
this is his
think
personal life, is his decision not to stream with
I
females.
think that particular issue that you're alluding to, which there are a lot of people who do that. I think there's several things to unpack there. So, one, it is absolutely nobody's business to know anything about you unless you so choose. Period. I fully agree with that. Two, any person who is in the limelight is fully aware of what could happen in the limelight. You know what could happen. You know things that could happen. Yes, you have those, people who like Keanu Reeves who keep certain things to themselves, and they're very good at doing that. But you also have those people who do put everything out there, and at whatever range you are at, you still are conscious of the fact that there will always be the option, there will always be something that could happen, right? There's always, you have to understand that. Like, you have to know that when you're in that kind of situation. Like, I think you're kidding yourself to think that you can shelter your family from that, right? But I think that when you utilize the information to gain attraction and attention, which I'm not saying that's what Ninja did. I'm speaking on the second half of what you're talking about. That is not okay. No, I shouldn't have to disclose that I am married to anybody. That's nobody's business. But if I were using that and flirting with people and saying, and trying to, and conducting myself in a manner that I don't want to say I'm asking for attention, but I'm conducting myself in a way that makes you feel like you're special, like more than just I can't find the words. I can't find the words, and I don't want to say things to offend people. And I don't want to make girl streamers look bad, so I think we should just move on.
Okay, that's fine. I think ultimately in the end, I do believe what Ninja chose to do, and it's quoting him. His answer was, and this is in relations to his wife. He's like, "I love our relationship, and no, I'm not going to put you through that." That's ultimately, I believe, his decision, and I respect that decision, and I 100% support it too.
Misleading is a very good word, Fatal. Thank you. When you are deliberately misleading, that is actually the perfect word for me. When you are deliberately misleading, that is not okay. That is where it is wrong. When you are deliberately misleading from what you are, what your brand is, you know, stuff like that, that is when it's not okay. And comments, I saw your comments, Acid. I will not. I'll let Kink Nightmare address those subjects in our blog.
Which we did funny. So again, this isn't like I believe that one person is wrong or right. We both have two very different opinions, and I think why I personally felt it would be good to bring it here on the Cosmic Bulletin is that the internet is always divided too. We have those that feel a certain way, and I think it's a great standpoint to put into the forward that there can be differing opinions about it, and it's okay.
I actually really like what Kinky said here. I think assuming there is automatically a sexual intention from a woman because he is a successful male is a shitty outlook on females. And I actually like that statement, and I don't think he's deliberately putting that out there, but he's unintentionally putting that out there.
He does go on to say, because in that, when he was answering the review, he's like, I know he does say that he knows and acknowledges that there's a lot of great female streamers, a lot of great female players that don't fall into that category, and they're awesome, and they should be going and checked out. He just doesn't want to use his platform for that. So it's a very weird line, and it's a very weird choice to make. And if you have two opinions, we love that you guys joined us in giving your opinions too. I know that, like I said, I started beforehand that I wasn't going to be in the favor of this one, and I know it. And that's okay. That's 100% okay. And this is a great showcase that we can have debating and differing opinions and still be friends and okay. Good. And you know what's
you're
funny?
Wrong. No, you're wrong. We can't be friends anymore because we disagree on this one subject that doesn't matter.
It is. But it's funny because before we started this, we kind of debated about whether or not we should have it, like I mentioned before. And I was like, you mean because it should have been a kinky corner piece?
Right? Looking at you, Kink Nightmare.
Oh, God. You know, aiming to get your pants. It's like just like he's worried about them being spread. Well, the thing is, I don't think he feels that just because a girl laughed at his joke that she's trying to flirt with him. But it's more of like how everybody else is going to take it. And he just doesn't want to deal with that nonsense. I don't want to deal with that nonsense.
So I think what he's trying to do is just preemptively stop something from starting. But in preemptively doing that, I think it's kind of started something else, which may be worse. But we'll move on. Because, I mean, we just spent way too much time on that subject. But
it was a good topic, and it was good conversation.
For those of you who are watching on YouTube, let us know what your opinion is in the comments. And you guys in Twitch chat are awesome. Thank you so much for telling us your opinion on the thing. I love that there are so many different opinions on this. This is awesome. I love it. So moving on, we are actually getting into the girl streamers news. I know we have been streaming for far too
Did you
long.
just skip the other thing? You
I
totally skipped the
did.
other thing
I
too.
did. Nope. We have one more thing. I keep skipping. I
So
quit.
she accused me of skipping.
I quit. I quit. I need to go to bed. All right. In tech news, the only thing of note that I thought was interesting was Logitech has acquired Blue Yeti. Or Blue, which is the Blue Yeti and all of that stuff. Okay.
This is actually great news. Okay, I'll go with this. Because I am such an Astro fan.
Sorry.
You call me Astro fanboy. Everything in our household is Astros. But last year, Astro did acquire, or actually is partnered with Logitech. And now, Logitech has picked up Blue. So you have these three companies here. You have Astros, you have Logitech, you have Blue microphones. They're all partnering together. I think Logitech actually purchased Blue microphones for $117 million. Huge things here. But if you are a streamer, you're going to be a streamer, those are three really top companies that are going to have your entire full streaming package that you...
The Triforce!
Yes. The Triforce. Okay, but it's there, and I think this is great news for us. Just this past E3, this is the first E3 that Astros and Logitech was actually in the same booth and giving their demos together. They were right next side by side, and I thought that just made it so much easier. It was nice. It was nice and fluid. So I'm looking forward to future, possibly next E3, because I think it took almost a year before Logitech and Astros were in the same booth together. So I'm assuming it would take a while too before we have all three of these companies being able to give and present their demos in one room. I'm a huge I don't get paid for any of these things. Neither does GirlStreamers. It's none of our partners, but it's their brand, whether it be Logitech Blue or Astros, is always in people's mouths as far as recommendations and what to get you started as a streamer, whether you're a newcomer or you're looking to upgrade. These three brands have what you need. I know that the microphones, I haven't tried their other two microphones that they have, but I know I use personally the Yeti. I've been using the Yeti for 4 years, and before that I had the snowball mic when I first originally started, and I couldn't be happier about it. So I'm looking forward to this partnership and seeing improvements and seeing their tech either being enhanced by each other or integrated into what is already existing.
I could see some really sweet deals coming out around the holidays with like a trifecta of all of the things. So that's exciting. The experience I have with you are the only person that I have ever had experience with that has a good sounding Blue Yeti mic. Most other people don't know how to, because it's really sensitive. It's a very sensitive mic, and you really gotta work it with whatever your particular area is because it picks up everything. So as a podcaster, I'm not the biggest fan of Blue, but they are good quality microphones. So that's really cool. Logitech is just like on it this year. Like, what the hell, man?
And I think what's amazing is even though that they are partnered with Astros, Logitech still keeps their brand of headsets and Astros separate.
Yeah.
To give that variety. It's not like they're trying to monopolize and like, no, Astros has been absorbed and you get no more Astros or vice versa, anything like that. They still have that separation in a sense. Like, we still have our headset technology if you enjoyed what we provided at Logitech, and if not, here's a company we're partnered with that's under our wing. Here's Astros. You can go and give their headsets a try as well. And that's like kind of the only real, I guess, the crossovers and that overlaps.
Yeah.
Where Logitech is, I want to say that 90% of all streamers have a Logitech webcam. It might be the
I have
C920. It
two.
might be the C922. I have two as well. I have the 920 and the 922. What I'm using right now is the 920. They
As am
have
I.
amazing keyboards. They have great mice. Like there's a huge plethora there that's
I
open at the
have
venues.
my two Logitech webcams, Logitech mouse, Logitech headphones. So there you go. I'm a Logitech gal. It's good. Honestly, for the cost, it's really good quality stuff. That's why I like Logitech.
We sound
Um,
like an ad.
I
Hey,
know
Logitech, Astros, how you doing?
you should partner with GirlStreamers. Mm-hmm. 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 All right, we're done.
That might be a conflict of interest.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, you're
just
right.
saying right now.
My bad. Just kidding. Don't partner with us. It's a conflict of interest. You can talk to me on my own channel. So moving right along.
Right along. Okay, I want to talk about this. I'm so super excited. I know I mentioned this earlier in the show. I know I'm just dropping
Which
hints
was
here.
like 2
You know,
hours
doing our own
ago.
self promos here for Girl Streamers. Dead Cells, which did release earlier this week, and it is not plagiarized. We have a review for Dead Cells. Brought to you by the wonderful.
It's not plagiarized.
Not plagiarized. Brought to you by our wonderful member, Max and Chachi. She worked really hard on this. I loved her review, and I loved her review so much that I actually got the game myself, and I am pleasantly surprised by it because I've
Nice.
mentioned this in my stream so many times before. I don't really like platformers. I'm not really good at them. I'm really frustrated with it. I did like Castlevania, but I feel like I've gone past that point of me liking that genre. So Dead Cells is this Metroidvania roguelite platformer that has that dead Dark Souls feel, and you honestly just keep dying, and it frustrates me. But after I was reviewing and critiquing Max and Chachi's review, oh my god, I love what Max had to write, that I had to try it myself, and I loved it. I am so incredibly pleasantly surprised how much I loved it. She did a great job writing it. You can go and definitely check it out on our Medium blog, medium.com/girlstreamers. Nymphadora was awesome enough to provide a direct link to her review as well. And that link will also be provided in our comments below on YouTube. You can definitely check it out too. Also, always, if you guys don't know, I post up all our show notes and everything that we talked about on the show, and that's provided once we go live and upload this to YouTube. So you can find it there as well. Thank you so much, Max. This is great. You can also find them on Twitch, twitch.tv/Max and Chachi. You can follow them on Twitter under the same name, twitter.com /Max and Chachi, MAXN, the letter N, not N, CHACHI, and follow them and all of their future reviews. I hope she loved this experience enough that she'll continue doing so. You can follow them on Medium as well too under the same name. And I guess I will also do this for all of our members that are on Girl Streamers. If you're super active in the Discord, when you get to level 10, you can become a Galaxy Girl member, just being active and supportive inside the Discord itself. And you have the option, you can go and see all of your requirements to become a freelancer writer. And lately I've been lucky enough to provide the girls with their own, copies of games and add to their library. Nothing is forced. I always give a description of what's available, and girls have been just choosing, what piques their interest and what, speaks to them. So they're actually writing something that they enjoy. We have a whole lot more coming in the future. And thanks again, Max. I absolutely loved it. I've been enjoying the game too. You can find it on Steam, PS4, Xbox, and the Switch.
I'm going to let you just lead into the next one as well.
Oh, wow.
Because you like to do this segment.
Because you don't know how to get me to stop talking. All right. So that is all of our news for everything else. We do leave the best for last, which is all of our girl streamer news. And I love starting it off with, because a lot of our women work really hard trying to build their brand, their personalities, and finding their way in the streaming world itself. So we always give a special shout out and thanks and congratulations to our members who made affiliate or any other milestone that you made for Mixer or YouTube gaming or anything that's just you feel so proud about it is a huge milestone in your career as a streamer. So shout outs to Blonde Chipmunk, Miss Daisy Land, the Brat Queen, Willow Forest Tail? Forest All. Oh my goodness. Willow Forest All and Mothzilla 1. Congratulations, ladies, on working so hard. I'm glad that you chose to be a part of our community here at GirlStreamers, where we can help encourage and support you in your growth overall. And hopefully you'll stick with us and build some great friendships and network with us. Our next podcast will be with the lovely Nymphadora. So you told me just to keep going. I don't know where you want me to stop here. So the lovely Nymphadora.
The next podcast. Sorry, I was in the middle of like moving things on OBS and making it like look all pretty and stuff. So the next podcast is with Shanbot, and it will be right here at 8:00 on August 19th. I almost said October for some reason. But August 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern. And speaking of Shanbot, this month we actually had 2 winners of our Streamer of the Month. You guys, we had a tie. So both of them got Streamer of the Month, and Shanbot was one of those Streamer of the Months. So I have Shanbot's video and Maria's video, highlight video, so we will watch those really quick. Maybe, if it transitions.
Look at those thighs! Batman.
And congratulations to those lovely ladies for getting Streamer of the Month. That is our first tie in the history of Streamer of the Month, which we've been doing Streamer of the Month for what? A year and a half now? So congratulations to those awesome ladies.
I thought that was really cool. Really, really cool. Congratulations. And it was I thought it was great. They're very well deserved. I love that you used from Maria's. I love that you used a clip from her review of Narcosis.
Yeah.
I saw that in there. I was like, yeah.
Oh no, she did Pamela.
You do have that review too.
Pamela.
Yeah, sorry, Pamela.
She did a really good review. She was our first victim. But the lovely GIF you guys are seeing.
Wasn't victim.
She was our first victim. So the lovely GIF you guys are seeing is the Stream Theory GIF. Tomorrow night is the next Stream Theory with Azili and Carice. You can come and learn about moderators and how useful they are and other lovely things. If you have questions, bring them, because they will do a question and answer at the end. So if you got questions, come learn some things. You won't want to miss it.
Especially for moderators. It is. It'll be a great topic. Now, for our next Girl Streamers Team Community Night, I did host the last one, and you know what? I'm so bummed, and I'm so sorry for the whole move or die debacle. I don't even know what happened with that one because I went and played it off the stream, and it worked out perfectly great. And then we ended up switching to Uno. That's all on me, though. I'm sure I'll figure that out. But we haven't fully determined when our next community night may be. We're gonna try and staggering it so that community night does not fall immediately after the Cosmic Bulletin. So a positive to be decided date might be September 1st, which is also Saturday, which will be here live at 8 p.m. Obviously, follow us on Twitter. If you're inside our Discord, we always announce and we'll put it out there as well and under our special events to know 100% when our community game night is. But of course, we always want to know what you guys think we should play. Would be really fun to watch. We would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions on it. So hit us up on Twitter or here live in chat. And that's it. It's been a great 2.5 hours, actually.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of good talks, a lot of good conversations and things that we need to talk about, and I appreciate it. I'm glad that I actually was able to make it to today's show, and thank you, Nymphadora, for hosting for tonight. If you don't know, the Cosmic Bulletin, me and Nymphadora switch off about who's going to be running it and seeing how it goes. So tonight was all Nymphadora. Appreciate you, girl. I love it.
Hold up.
What do you mean, hold up?
What are you talking about, Carice? Did we just learn about a new thing here? Did we just get some breaking girl streamer news? Is this happening right now?
Wait,
what is this Starlight Saturdays you speak of? I heard a rumor
you do
there
realize
might be
that
a new shoot.
You're in Twitch chat, right? You're not in the mod chat on Discord. I'm just saying, what is this Starlight?
I feel like this is the secret meeting that Carice and Kinky had.
Not like right now. I like that teaser. I like that how that teaser is. It's kind of like at the end of Marvel movies where it just says
Coming soon.
Thor will be in the next movie. Oh, is that it? What's happening?
You heard it here, folks.
Gonna drop that sound.
Apparently, GirlStreamers has a new show coming out, but we know nothing about it.
Just Carice, which is enough. But with that being said, thank you guys all for stopping by, showing up to the lives. Thank you for the host. Thank you, oh my goodness, for not the official ninja, but the other ninja, for all of those gifted subs. I know we don't have our notifications up for the Cosmic Bulletin, but it is much appreciated. Thank you guys so much. If you're interested in joining our community, visit our website, www.girlstreamers.com, for more information. And you can find out where our link to join our Discord is in there as well, too. Follow us on Twitter at GirlStreamers, and you can watch and follow our stream live here on Twitch at twitch.tv/girlsstreamers_INC. And obviously, if you're watching this after the fact or VOD on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, think about hitting that bell so that you're notified for all of our new content as we upload it there. Thank you guys so very much. And until next time, you guys have a good one.
And
Bye.
ladies, do not forget GirlStreamers is an 18+ community. So, when you hit that join us, make sure that you are 18+.